My fellow compassionate capitalists, it's Steve and Catherine here. Hey, we're behind Catherine's, well, we're not, I guess we're in front of, but behind Catherine is her new dig. She's excited. Yes, by the way, when we made this video before, it's gone over just a little bit, so we're remaking it. However, she is still standing on the step stool. That's not a lie. So last time I showed you, this time you just got to take my word for it. But what she's so excited about this, Catherine has always wanted her own little library, and it's thousands of dollars. We're cheap. We picked it up at the auction. We're cheap.
We're wise.
Picked it up at the auction. I will go with the whole wise thing. We picked it up at the auction, and like $140 for this thing that cost a few $1,000s. And this is just the two smaller pieces. The really big piece, the centerpiece, is downstairs because we couldn't fit it here in the office. So we're excited about that, and we are excited about today, September 9th, 2021. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. Now, there's other things that went on in history today. In 1956, Elvis Presley, the king, thank you very much, had his first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. In 1850, California became the 31st state in record time. Now, I know most of us are really regretting that decision about right now. And so California, hey, if you're listening, feel free to secede. I'm pretty sure the rest of the union will go ahead and let you. We won't even fight you on it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Also, in 1776, pretty cool thing. We were going by the United Colonies of America. That sounded weird. So in 1776, Congress said, hey, you know what? We're going to rename ourselves the United States of America. And that's how the US of A was born. So lots of amazing little facts today. But the big thing that we want to, the story that I want to tell real quick is how what's going on today in the economy. I actually repeated that. I almost brought down the entire third grade classroom, Mr. Olson's economy, due to the printing of money. Let me tell you real quick. You see, what happened was that we had these things called Schnickles in third grade, and Mr. Olson, in order to incentivize.
Incentivize.
Thank you, word nerd. Nerd. Anyway, so what happened was that he had this little pirate's chest. It was filled with like bubble gum, you know, like bubble yum, bubblicious, all that. Pencils, erasers, things like that. And so when we turn in our homework and we get graded, we got these Schnickles, which were basically kidney beans that were painted neon orange. And so we got those, you know, in order to, as an incentive.
There you go.
Big words. We received those. And I wanted my own baseball team. Okay, things were tough out in the schoolyard in Sholo, Arizona. I mean, you know, yeah, a man had to compete. And so I thought, hey, my dad's a logger. The exact same spray paint that Mr. Olson thought he was so cool and so, you know, smart to spray paint these kidney beans, my dad has, because that they marked the trees. They're going to get cut down with that color. So I went ahead and I made me some Schnickles. I made me enough Schnickles that I got to buy the best players at recess on my baseball team. I also had enough to, you know, spread it around a little bit for kids to keep their mouths shut. Now, they weren't too happy with me because Mr. Olson knew what had happened. He didn't know who was doing it, but he knew there was an influx of Schnickles. Maybe it was because there was 2 5-pound bags available instead of one. I'm not quite sure. However, instead of taking it all away from us, he just raised the prices of everything. And so kids were disappointed because they couldn't do it on their own merits. However, come to Big Daddy Steve, and he'll give you some little hush Schnickles. Go buy yourself some Bubblicious. So anyways, perfect segue to Catherine about today's economic situation of what's going on. Yes, she married a bad boy. What can I say? She's a nerd. I'm the bad boy. But business is better than it's ever been. And she's going to tell you why.
So as much as he believes he's a bad boy, he's not. He's a compassionate capitalist. And that's exactly what was happening back in third grade. He was being a capitalist. And interestingly, it's exactly what's happening in the government, with the government printing all this money, trillions of dollars, and putting it out there. And as a result, people are getting unemployment and have discovered it's actually they're making more money on unemployment than they are actually working, which is why there's a serious worker shortage, which has impacted customer service, business hours, consumerism. I mean, it's really sad what's happening. And so if a third grader can figure it out, I mean, and the government's doing it, this is really fascinating in that, you know, history repeats itself. And so what we're seeing is that these hedge funds are using people's 401k money to go out there and buy these non-performing notes at 120% of the value. We've never seen this in the history of real estate investing. Normally you buy them for most, maybe 50 cents on the dollar, but 120%, this is ridiculous. It's because...
we should say modern history, recent history.
It's because...
Little disclaimer, it's the...
Hedge funds get paid on the number of transactions, not the profitability of transactions. Which, I mean, that is the serious issue. When you do the numbers tell you what to do. It's about the profitability, not the number of transactions. This is reminiscent of what happened back in 2008 and 9. And you can go back and you can watch movies about that, like The Big Short or Too Big to Fail. Watch those movies. It's really fascinating about what happened, what's happening now. Now, we know that markets are cyclical.
Just real quick, don't mean I do interrupt, but I shouldn't. Right now, the stock market is 149% of the entire world GDP.
Yep. So Warren Buffett, if you follow him, those are major indicators that a crash is coming. And so, you know, you can make money on an up market or a down market. You just need to know which market we're in and where to position yourself. And so that's where we're at. We have positioned ourselves and our investors to be able to benefit from what's about to happen in the market. So if you're interested in learning more about that, please click on the links below, sign up for our newsletter. We send them out weekly, and make sure you subscribe to our page and share with your friends because we are compassionate capitalists and we love partnering with other compassionate capitalists. So with that,
we'll make an honest buck this time. No third grade antics here at Titan Impact Group. We are the sentinels of the American dream. And with that, may you never awake from the American dream.